Hey guys, welcome to my channel, A Homesteader's Life. I am so sorry for the delay of the actual bread video, but let me tell you what happened, guys. I lost my footage. So I am, because I love you so much and I care about you, I'm going to make some more bread and show you how I make the bread. How you like that? Okay, let's get started. So this is a very simple sweet honey loaf. Very simple, very few ingredients. You will love it. Only thing you need to really take your time with, and it's not even really taking your time with it. Your time is going to be when your bread, your dough is rising. The first rise is for 2 hours. The second rise is when I put it in the bread loaf baking dish, and it'll rise for 30 minutes to an hour. Now your loaf is going to rise and it's going to double the size of when you're first doing it and you're kneading it and putting it in your bowl to rise. So it's going to double the size. So that's what you're looking for. So let me tell you the ingredients that I use for this sweet honey loaf. The first thing I use is my active yeast. This to me is quicker, and I don't have to really sit as long with this yeast, but please always read the back of your yeast on how the temperature of your water and everything that it's asking for. So you really want to follow the back of your ingredients on these yeast, whichever yeast you're going to actually use. The other thing that I use is I use actually a bread flour. Now for me, I like the texture of a bread flour. So I use bread flour. Some people just use regular flour, unbleached flour. People use wheat when they do a wheat bread for wheat flour. But I love the bread flour. I like the texture that the bread has after it has cooked and it's baked in the oven. So whatever bread you're comfortable with, whatever flour you're comfortable with, guys, use that. This is just what I use. Also, I use sugar. I use a pinch of salt, and I use some honey, and just a tad bit of vanilla. I just love that sweetness in the back of the vanilla. So I have a little bit of a vanilla left in this bottle. I'm just going to use it into the bread. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have 1 cup of warm water. So on the back of the actual active yeast, it says get it up a little bit over like room temperature. So it's going to be hot, but not boiling hot, because you want to be able to activate that yeast. So I'm going to do 1 cup in here, and then I'm going to put it in the microwave for about 10 to 20 seconds. And while that's going, I'm going to cut this yeast package open. Guys, when I tell you it's simple, it's simple. I don't use eggs. I don't use milk because I don't have to. And you can still have a perfect loaf without using eggs and without using milk. Okay, it's perfect temperature. So that's 1 cup water. You want to actually pour your yeast in there, and it's already forming there. It's already activating itself. So as that do that, I'm going to add a pinch of salt. Some sugar, because it's a sweet loaf. I normally do it's like a cup of sugar, but guys, it's really not that sweet with a cup of sugar. It just seems that it is, but it's really not. I'm going to add this pinch of vanilla that's in here. Get that done with. Normally I make my own vanilla. I don't remember why I bought that, but I have it. A little bit of honey in there. A half a cup of oil. I use olive oil. And then we're going to use our bread flour. This is where the fun begins, guys. Normally it takes for me 4 cups of flour. So let's get started. So what you're looking to do is you want to get this forming into a ball that you can actually roll it. And so you're adding your flour. And right there is 3. So what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to work it around and see where I am. See how simple those ingredients were, guys? It wasn't that much at all. Wasn't that much at all. Okay. I'm going to add 1 more. You can also, if you want to go total organic, you can also get the organic bread flour. I don't believe this one is the organic. It's not. And then I'll put a little bit of flour in here because when I start to roll this, I need to make sure that my countertop or your chopping board has enough flour for this. Now, of course, you can also use your, what is that called? Not your blender, your bread machine, also to do this. You can do that with this, if that's what you like. But I like to actually knead dough with my hands. It's just something that I'm into. I love to feel the texture as I'm kneading. But you can also have your kneading utensil on your machine and your kneading can be done for you that way. So you can do it that way, or you can do it like I do the old-fashioned way and knead it by hand. Now, if you're going to knead by hand, you want to knead for at least 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm getting ready to put some flour on my countertop. Please, guys, make sure the countertop is nice and clean. I'm going to take this out like this. Get the bread off my hands here. A little bit of flour on top. You don't want to overflour it. And what you're looking for is a smooth ball of dough. And when you're kneading this dough, the reason why it's so important to knead is you're activating also that yeast when you're kneading. So, and this is a good way of getting frustration out, guys, let me tell you. So this is another good way of getting frustration out. So the only thing you're going to do is, let me show you if you can get a better look. So what I do is pull, roll, push with my hand. That's all you're doing. And what this is doing is this is releasing that yeast as well. And so you're going to do this for 5 to 7 minutes. And when you start feeling it get sticky, just use that additional flour that you have in your measuring cup. Put a little bit on there and keep going. That's it. That's how easy this process is right here. And you want to make sure, absolutely make sure you do this process. This is a very important process. Okay, guys, it is done. The kneading process is done. So what you're going to do from now, let me let you see it. Like I told you, it's going to be smooth as a baby's bottom. It's nice, no holes. Everything is almost perfect. So I'm going to get that same bowl that I used to actually put the ingredients together. One thing I did was clean it. I'm going to drizzle some olive oil on it. And we're rub it around a little bit, and I'm going to let this rise for 2 hours. I'll check it at the halfway point, but normally it takes about 2 hours depending on the temperature of your home. That's how fast or as slow it will rise for you. And with that, I will put a towel. You can put a damp
panel. Communication.
You can put actually some damp paper towel on top, but I'm gonna use just a regular kitchen towel. And I'm going to cover it, and I'm gonna sit it on my back counter. Right now it is 9:22. I will check it around 11 o'clock and see how the rising process is going, but it should be doubled in size by 11:22. So I'm gonna sit this in the back and let this do what it needs to do. Hi guys, it's about 10:40 and I'm going to just check on the rising. It's not gonna be done to about 11:30, but I'm just gonna check and see, is it rising? Let's check out. Yes, it is rising. Okay guys, but we're gonna let it finish its rising process, and around 11:30 it should have doubled in size. It's already getting there, which is absolutely amazing. That means we had good yeast and we actually did what we're supposed to do when it comes to the actual process of the kneading of the dough, because the kneading of the dough actually helps out the actual yeast process to expand. So this is looking absolutely amazing. We're gonna let it finish its work, and we're gonna check back in it at 11:30. Okay guys, the bread is ready to go into the oven. The last rise has been complete. So please look at your oven to make sure that you're baking the oven based on the heat of your oven. I'm telling you this because of why. I baked my bread on this stove at the same temperature that I did my stove and where I lived before, and it was too high. So I had to bring my temperature down to 350, 365 to bake my bread. Before I could do it on 375, 380 at my old place, but not here. Depending on your stove, you need to make sure that the heat level is okay with your baking, whatever you're baking. So I'm gonna put this in the oven. It's gonna be for 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, and your bread is done. So guys, stay tuned for the finished product. I'll see you. Okay guys, here is the finished product of this amazing honey sweet loaf. Look how beautiful this is, guys. It is absolutely amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually cut you a slice. So I have this actual bread slicer. I bought this on Amazon. So you can go to Amazon.com, and it is a bread slicer. I've had it for over a year now, and it's absolutely amazing, guys. So we're gonna put the bread inside the bread slicer. And with this bread slicer, you can cut either thin slices or thicker slices. It all depends on what you are choosing to cut. And it also comes with a bread knife as well. So we can move this back, and we're gonna cut the first slice. Oh, guys, look at that. There we go. Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is, guys. And look how beautiful it is. It's absolutely beautiful. Very good. But before I let you go, you got to stay amazing. Bye, guys.